Yo, what's up, y'all? It's your boy Big Keith. Welcome to episode 29 of Wrasslin Talk Radio. I'm your host for everything and anything in wrestling, man. Let's get back. I got the studio audience back again. Studio audience. Yes. The location has changed, but everything else stays the same. You know what I'm saying? Live from Virginia Beach. Hey, we got a good show for y'all, man. A lot to go over for the night. I know I've been slacking with the shows as of late, but I promised y'all, I told y'all in the promo on Sunday or Monday, sorry, that I'm coming back with some more shows. Trying to be more consistent with the shows. I apologize. I had a lot going on this year, and everything. Rest in peace, moms, as always. Rest in peace, Curtis, man. So I've done a lot with the move, so I've been having a lot going on this year, but now things have kind of slowed down a little bit now. Not getting consistent again with the shows. But before we start, shout out to my homeboy Sean, You're a Boxing Fix. If you're a boxing fan, go check his page out. He's on Instagram. He's always going live with the biggest news in boxing, man. Go definitely check his page out. Homeboy got over 13,000 followers on his Instagram, man, so definitely go check him out. Also, shout out to my homeboy Fuego Beats Radio. I talked to him the other day. We do got some upcoming things coming up, man, so definitely looking forward to that. Also, make sure y'all like us
in the words of my boy Lucas.
Make sure y'all like us on Facebook. Y'all make sure y'all like us on Instagram. Follow us on Twitter. Also, make sure y'all subscribe to this YouTube channel so that way y'all can get notification when we go live. Remember what I said on Sunday in regards to if I get 20 viewers right now. I see I have none as of right now. If I get 20 or more viewers, I'm doing a cash app giving away as well. Well, I heard Cash App is being fucked up today, so I don't know what's going on with Cash App. So I don't know, but if I get 20 or more viewers, I will be sending somebody. What I want you to do in the comment section, put down your cash tag, put down your hashtag, your Cash App name, and if we get up to 20 more viewers, I will send you something to your Cash App. So, with that being said, let's get the intros out the way to the fellas. Everything. Well, I'm gonna get to the one person who hasn't been on the show in like 35 years. We're gonna get to him last. And everything. So, we've been doing the show for like over 40 years, and my man ain't been on like one time in the past 40 years. We're going to say
Damn right he's last. Damn right he's last.
That was a historical episode.
First of all, the dude who hasn't been on the show since the beginning of the year, number one Phil Brooks hater, and we're going to get to why he's changed that name. But hold on, let me give you an intro.
Hey, and just so everybody knows, that's the Halloween costume this year. I was guilted. I was guilted. Let me talk to you. I was guilted by all three individuals in here, and many more others, to do LA Night. Majority of others were outside of our group chat as well, believe it or not.
We pushed you to do Orange Cassidy a few years ago.
Nah, y'all didn't push for shit. I surprised y'all with that.
No, we're gonna sit there till that damn lie. We told you to be Orange Cassidy.
You know we did.
Motherfucker went out to the mall, got the jean shirt, got the jacket and everything, man.
Yeah, because they were at Gap. It was an easy costume.
So, Lucas had the whole costume off.
The whole getup.
We got shout out to Lucas though. He had the whole costume. He had the costume down. So I'm looking forward to
white shirt down to the elbow pad too.
Oh, I got the elbow. Okay.
Down to the elbow sleeve too.
Next year, you carry the belt in the bag.
Yeah, you got to put the belt in the bag. You gotta put the belt in the bag.
Yeah, one of them.
All right, well, Lucas, welcome back. It's been forever, man, since we had you on. Next, my boy Pepsi Punk. Hold on, I got something for you, man. I got something for him.
Please play Cult of Personality.
R.I.P. man. Rest up, man.
It still does not feel real.
Still doesn't feel real, man. To one of the greatest, man.
Moment of silence for your boy Bray Wyatt, man.
Always.
All right, man. Rest in peace, Bray Wyatt, man. Rest in peace.
What's going on, fellas? Man, it's good to see you, Thomas, man. I had to get on your ass in order for you to get on the show, man. But I'm happy to see you, man. I'm always happy to see you. Big King, what's good, baby? I see the A. What, you trying to get the waves back? You trying to get the waves? What? Get the fuck out of here. Yeah.
The hair is back temporarily until basketball season starts back when I start coaching again. So
what up, Lucas? That's my A1 day one, man. I'm happy to see you guys, man. I really am. I'm ready for this show. You have
the only one that Chris the only one that consistently comes on.
I heard you was warming up already.
Speaking of
You
warming
already
up,
know I'm ready.
hold
The
on.
kids is fine.
For this dude, NY Knight, also known as Thomas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me talk to you.
I ain't seen this Joker since February, since I went to NXT. What was it, Vengeance Day?
Yeah.
Yeah, NXT Vengeance Day. Me and Thomas.
That was a good show. Good show.
It was
I
a
ain't
good
seen
show,
them since
man.
Royal Rumble 2022.
You know what is funny though? I've been to a professional wrestling pay-per-view with everybody on this podcast.
Hey, you gotta give him that. You gotta give him
You know what I
that.
mean?
You gotta give him
That's
that.
what's up.
Well, NXT counts as well, so that's fine. That's cool.
I have yet to be with one with Keith, but it's gonna get there.
Yeah, we're gonna get
Well,
there.
we gonna do it. Yeah.
2024, we gonna make it happen. I'm shit.
Absolutely.
Y'all get Chicago get all the damn shows, so I'm gonna come out there for one eventually. y'all get 50 shows a year, so I'm gonna
we needed to meet up in Philly.
Y'all.
We should have met up in Philly for Mania.
Hey, I'm with that. I think we should meet up in Philly.
I think we should try to do that thing. Yeah.
Chris,
So
that's right
my
around
buddy-
my 40th. That'd be good for the 40th, man.
My
That's what
buddy
I'm saying.
John.
That's my 40th birthday
That's
present.
my 40th is in May. That
Hey.
sounds good.
Oh
to me.
man.
I was gonna say, I don't know if I told y'all, my buddy John, who goes to the shows dressed as LA Knight, I was with him in Detroit for SummerSlam. He's going, so the fact that I know somebody who's for sure going, I'm probably gonna tag along with him. Chris, motherfucker, I'm saying, hey, motherfucker, I'm
Lucas
saying,
got me hit that shit. I'll be hitting that shit to my kids.
he be on some.
We need to go to Crown Jewel. That's what we need to do.
You can go there by yourself.
You can go to Crown
Right.
Jewel.
You can go there.
You can go.
Right. You ain't
I'm
never.
not going to Crown
You will
Jewel.
They
never.
gonna fuck us up out in ground.
Hell no, I ain't going to Crown Jewel.
Right.
One of two things will happen. Either they'll kill us, or we'll just get a lot of money just for being there, because they just paying people out
We
there
won't
now.
ever, we won't ever know because I'm not
we
going.
gotta live out there for us to get that money. You know that, right?
There's a bag out there right now waiting.
Hey, it's a bag and a bunch of bitches that got their motherfucking head, they got their face covered, they don't talk back.
They don't talk back. They don't drive. They don't do shit but cook, clean, and be a housewife.
I'm
And you're
okay
allowed to
watching
have
it.
multiple
Yeah.
wives. And you're allowed to have multiple wives.
I'm okay watching this show from the comfort of my own home.
That is not. I'm home. That is not good. That is not good.
You can go to Crown Jewel all you want.
Hey, I don't know if I told you. I told Lucas this shit. When the Saudi Arabia shows, the super shows used to come on at like 4:00 in the morning, I would purposely set my alarm just to turn on the Saudi Arabia show just to go back to sleep. Sick, right? That's some sick shit, right?
Minus the one time where
Yeah.
he woke up for the Australia show and actually stayed up to watch it.
Nah, that didn't happen. I stayed up and watched it for like 25 minutes.
Hey, motherfucker, you still stayed up to watch a little bit of it, so I don't give a fuck.
I don't even
you,
wake up
it
to early to
counts.
watch Wrestle Kingdom and
Fuck
shit when that
you.
shit come on at 3:00 in the morning.
Yeah, but Wrestle Kingdom is actually worth getting up to watch.
Yeah,
you
right.
know, like
Worth
it's
that.
Wrestle fucking Kingdom. It's New
That's
Japan's biggest
Wrestle
show of the
Kingdom.
year.
The Saudi
Yeah.
shows. ain't
Shout
worth
out to Ricky, who are our New Japan pro wrestling expert, who hasn't been on in ages.
Our New Japan connoisseurs, I like to call
No,
them.
Yeah, our New Japan connoisseur.
No. When we start this topic, Ricky finna get this work. Ricky finna get this.
Ricky, this is the show you should have. Ricky, this is the show you should have been on.
Ricky about to get this work.
Ricky, my friend Jason, and every other James, every motherfucker that told me,
you get this
everybody,
work.
hey,
You get this work.
hey, I just need 5 minutes, and then I'm gonna let Chris tee off, because I know he's got a long.
We're gonna get there. We're gonna get there in a minute.
I'm
Y'all
just
see the
saying-
name of the show.
I'm just
Y'all
saying
know
when
what
we-
the main event topic
I
is
know.
gonna be, so
I'm
we
just
ain't gotta
saying when we
into
get
that.
there, I just want to put it out there. I just need 5 minutes.
You got two dudes. Look at their names. They ready.
And all I need is and I need 5 minutes. That's all I need. I don't know how long Chris might need,
Thomas,
but
what the hell is that? Nobody cares about Shanky.
Hey, he's coming back. Fuck you talking
I
about?
gotta plug him in.
why? So I can see,
Quick
why?
plug.
So I can see him bust the move in front of Ricochet's fiance. No thanks.
When is that show? Wait a minute. Is that show tomorrow? Are they going to, is SmackDown in India tomorrow? Or is it,
I
Is
think
it
it's
is
just
it pre-recorded?
maybe I don't know.
Oh no.
It is
one
tomorrow,
thing
though.
though.
I think.
When
let me go on my trusty tablet over here and see.
Real quick. When the GOAT was having his championship run, right? And he had that steel cage match. And all of a sudden, the great Khali came out of nowhere. Tell me y'all didn't mark out.
You talking about the Punjabi prison match?
I was more questioning why is the dude from the longest yard?
Why is he here?
Yes.
That's what I was questioning. I was like, why is the dude from the
I
longest
watched
yard?
that movie and I realized how many dudes was in that movie, man. When I watched The Longest Yard,
Khali came out what? 06?
That movie came out 05. I didn't realize how many.
No, I
dudes
know.
was in that
I'm
movie.
saying.
Khali came out in 06.
That's what I'm saying. So why? So 12-year-old me is sitting there asking, okay, why is this big fucking dude from the longest yard standing across my favorite wrestler right now? Right. I was trying to piece it together. Mind you, I'm 12.
Like he said, thank you for coming to this other side. Now
mind
I don't stab you.
Right, mind you, I'm 12 years old trying to put this fucking image on my TV.
Lucas,
together.
you were 13.
12. Wow.
12,
13.
Well, when did he fucking debut? April? May?
No, he debuted in May of 2006.
Okay, so I was a month before turning 13, dickhead.
Oh my God, just round it the fuck up.
Round D's. Hey, round D's up. How about that?
You know what? I hope your mom sees this.
Good. I hope she does too.
Yeah. I hope she
does too.
Yeah, I hope she knows how you're talking to me.
She'll talk to you the same exact way, my boy.
Exactly.
Ain't
She will,
Ain't
but
nothing
not you.
different.
But not you. Not you.
Yo,
all right. Let me ask you a quick. We got time for a quick Khali question.
Fuck you, asshole.
Quick Khali question.
I can't deal with these two.
Hold on.
What's your Khali question before we get started?
Who was worse in the ring? The Great Khali or Andre the Giant, like right at the end where they shouldn't have had no business having him in the ring?
Andre the Giant, easily.
Andre the Giant, that's easy.
Andre the Giant, easily.
At least Khali can still move.
That was awful, man.
Hey, but Thomas, I know. Did you watch that Andre the Giant documentary that was on HBO?
Yeah.
He would tell you the same thing. Remember, he couldn't even.
He didn't want to be out there. Man, if you go back and you watch his matches now, you'll feel sorry. Like, man, what is he doing? You know he was in a lot of pain.
Remember, he had to do tag team matches so that way he wouldn't.
The other person could wrestle
on the apron and not be able to do nothing. Yeah,
dude could barely get in the ring. He couldn't even get in the ring.
Yeah, I gotta go back and watch that documentary. I missed that, man.
Even WrestleMania 3, he couldn't move around.
No, he couldn't.
But it was an attraction, and they made a lot of money, but he couldn't do anything.
Right, that was the passing of the torch.
That's why, honestly, you kind of gotta respect Omos. Omos could do some stuff in the ring for his size.
And nobody wants to believe this, and I say this all the time. It's an unpopular opinion, but Big Show is better than Andre the Giant.
Oh, definitely.
I'll agree with that.
I don't know who's disagreeing with that, in all honesty.
Big Show is the greatest.
Oh, yeah. You like the best big man.
And as far as Giant goes, Big Show is the greatest Giant to ever bless bless professional wrestling.
And he turned heel and face 100 times.
1,000 times.
1,000 times. He just turned heel during the show.
I was going to say, there might be a small debate, small argument to make for Andre and Big Show, but Big Show is clearly the better big man.
I don't see
Andre's son.
The only people that will argue, I feel that will argue that is motherfuckers that was born in the 70s or whatever that can't let go of the olden days.
Kind of like Jordan fans.
If you watch wrestling right now, you will say Big Show was better than Andre the Giant, hands down.
Yeah, definitely.
Big Show was too agile to not be able to he was too agile. And Big Show can still move to this day.
Big Show was way better than his dad.
Absolutely.
I'm not doing this with you, Thomas. I'm not doing this, man.
You remember that?
I'm not doing this
Yo,
with you, Phil.
Yo, WCW was wild,
Thomas,
man.
go to hell, bro. Because I ain't gonna lie, my stupid ass believed that shit growing up.
WCW was wild.
The same thing with Kane and Undertaker when they were brothers.
No, I knew Kane and Undertaker was. I lied. I believe they were brothers.
I believe that shit too.
I believe they were brothers too.
Yo,
I really thought Big Boss Man was a cop.
Yo, wasn't he like a CO? I think he was like a CO.
I knew Boss Man wasn't a cop when Nails beat the brakes off of him. That
was funny. Then
you remember
he was looking for that check. He got Vince McMahon.
You remember Big Show? You remember Paul?
Why
you remember
Big
Show?
Vince McMahon?
He said, "Where's my check at?"
Hey, you remember Big Show funeral? They dragging the casket on the back.
Well, what happened? What did the Hold on. What did the Big Boss? The Big Boss Man did something at WCW that was wild. Something at a funeral.
No, that was WWE. That was WWF, man.
And dragged it. I hated it.
Yo,
WWE was on some bullshit.
Yo, they used to do some shit. They said, "Fuck it." You know?
Did I really? Hold on. Time out. Did I really walk back here to y'all talking about Big Show's father's funeral and Boss Man dragging the casket?
That was wild.
That shit was funny as hell.
Big Show better be happy Boss Man was there. Boss Man made that feud.
When Kaientai cut off Val Venus's penis.
He made that scene.
And then the lights went out. And then it turned out that John Bobbitt came and saved him. And then he came out on Raw with him the next week. It was wild.
When Stone Cold showed up at Brian Pillman's house, and the TV camera went off.
And they pulled the strap out.
Y'all really thought he shot him too.
Yo, I really thought he shot him.
Hey, Lucas, fuck you. I sure did. I was hoping he did.
I was in third grade trying to figure out.
Bye, Chris.
Y'all have to understand, as an 8-year-old, that shit like traumatized you as a kid. Watching Monday Night Raw, that shit went off of air. There's no social media, so you don't even know until next Monday night what the hell happened.
Did he shoot him? He said, "Nah, where'd he shoot him?" He said, "In the ass." Everybody know he got shot in the ass.
Where
you shoot him at?
The 1990s.
Where you shoot him at?
That was funny, man.
All right, y'all. Let's
my
get
favorite
into
scene
it,
in
man.
that movie. I don't know why, but it's so funny.
Yo, let's watch some music, man.
I think because he tries to square up the guard right after. My bad, Keith.
That's funny.
Shout out to Goop. I'm not playing this old theme. I'm playing this theme because this theme, I like the theme better.
No, his old theme slaps. His old theme is better. I don't know why they changed it.
I don't know why they changed it. I don't even know why they changed his name. I like Walt. To me, he was Walter. He will always be Walter. But shout out to Gunther, who is the all-time, who broke Honky Tonk Man's longest reign for Intercontinental Champion as of this week. So shout out to Gunther, man, for holding the Intercontinental title. Had a
how long before
great
he's
match on Monday night with Chad Gable, who people are sleeping on, man.
Chris being one of them.
Yes, Chad Gable, yo, they gotta let Chad Gable loose, man. They got this dude can go, man. This dude can go. They gotta what they were saying when we were talking in the group chat regarding they're always putting him in a fucking tag team.
So how long before Gunther's in the world title picture? He's broken the record. And honestly, here's what I'd do. If you really want to make this guy a fucking megastar, let him keep the Intercontinental Championship, have him win the Rumble, and walk into Mania and challenge the world for the world title as the Intercontinental Champion.
That's a strong part.
That's what I always said that should happen.
Now,
whoever the champ on Raw is,
a lot of things.
Mania time.
Wait, you got to consider another thing. What's Damian Priest gonna do with that suitcase? Now he's got that suitcase. Then you got Rollins.
Pick me.
Wait. Hold on. Wait. I don't care if Gunther is the Intercontinental Champion for the next 3 years.
Right.
He has earned every bit of that. That man has yet to put on a trash match.
Every single match he delivers.
If it ain't 4, it's a 5-star match. Dead ass.
So back to
take your pick.
The other day, I said I am now a Chad Gable fan. I am now.
Lucas said it while you stepped away. Yeah, he said you were a Chad Gable fan, man. Definitely.
So
go ahead, Lucas.
They need to go send Otis to. They need to go send Otis back wherever Tucker at.
My nephew. So back to Senor Money in the Bank. I read something funny about that situation. They were saying that Finn is going to take the green case
I read that too.
And try to cash it in. And,
I hope so.
And they say that the real contract for the world title is in the green one instead of the Senior Money in the Bank. I'd be fine with it.
I'm fine with it too.
They should have him. They could have him cash in and succeed, but having him cash in and fail would make more sense for the storyline between him and Priest, but it would also kind of diminish Money in the Bank because then that's another loser that we have right there.
They're high on him though. That's the thing about it. They're high on him. That's why they let him win Money in the Bank. They're definitely high on him. So
I'm saying though, if Finn hijacks his briefcase, cashes it in like instead of Priest, and they technically don't let Priest cash it in, is what I'm saying. Let's say Finn loses. All right, that's another unsuccessful cash in.
Hey, Lucas, piggybacking off of that, I would hope they don't do that to Finn. He already lost the Universal title the first night he won it.
Right.
I would pray that they don't shit on him like that. I really would. He didn't done everything.
I wouldn't really say it's shitting on him. I kind of think, but in a sense, it's kind of spicing up their storyline too. It's kind of making it a little better because then you got an angry Priest, you got an angry Damian Priest, and then he's just gonna want to fucking beat the shit out of Finn Balor.
I understand, but I'm trying to understand this. How does that work? If number one, not Damian. I'm sorry. Finn Balor has done everything that Vince has asked him to do. Oh, let's not forget. He was a.
I'm not disagreeing with that. I'm not disagreeing.
No. I know you're not. But then again, he came back. He never got a return match until Roman Reigns. Till 2 years later, when Roman Reigns became Universal Title Champion. Remember, he gave him that return match on Raw.
Yeah.
Hold on. Then he got the Intercontinental Champion. Then they had him in the Pride fucking month. You forgot that. When he was wearing rainbow trunk. Let's not forget that. Then they had him go back to NXT.
Which was good for him.
Turn him heel.
I agree. Remember, I didn't like it at first, but then I became a fan.
Once he turned heel, you were on board with it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. The fact of the matter is, he's done everything that they've asked him to do. Why shit on him to have him take the Money in the Bank only for him to lose it? Why shit on him like that? That's all I'm saying.
I like the fact they won the tag team titles. It was deadly. We were in shock, but I was okay with it.
I wasn't. Sammy and KO had a great build-up, but they've had zero payoff since Mania.
Plus the Judgment Day is hot right now.
I'm glad it's off KO and Sami Zayn.
I hear they're both injured too, so
yeah, that might be another reason why they pulled the titles off of them because of their injuries.
Which is fine.
Yeah,
we were okay. We were okay with
Dominic.
Them.
We gotta talk about Dominic real quick.
Oh, he's the man.
Hey.
He's the man. I don't fucking care what anyone says.
Come through.
I don't care what anyone says. Dominic Mysterio is the fucking man.
I agree with Lucas on this.
And on top of that, they put the NXT North American title on him, which was like
he's pulling double duty.
He's pulling double duty, fam. I'm liking this, man.
Dominic Mysterio is one of the best heels in the business. I don't care what nobody says.
The heat he gets when he gets on the mic, you see how much they boo this man. It's like it's working.
They literally don't let him get a word off.
He gets more heat than anybody.
Right. You literally cannot hear him talk without the whole crowd just booing the fuck out of him.
Pairing him with Rhea was an excellent idea.
It's working,
I like it.
Pairing him with the Judgment Day period was good for him.
I don't think all time. I don't think I've ever seen somebody. I'll be honest with you. Before this, he was useless, and I was like, he's only here because of his pops. He has no anything.
So
and they took a nobody. They took a nothing and made him something. I don't think that there's any time that ever happened where they took somebody with like nothing and just gave him a shot and then built a character for him.
So I'm gonna piggyback off that.
LA Knight.
So real quick, I think we all agreed, and I think a lot of us said it in the group chat for the longest time before it finally happened. We all said if Dom splits off from his dad and gets away from his dad, his career will be a lot better.
Best thing that ever happened.
Best thing ever happened. Best thing ever happened.
And we all agree. We were all saying it months before Clash at the Castle last year when his heel turn actually happened. We said, man, let Dom like turn his back on his dad. Just one time.
The moment we realized it when Roman Reigns threw his ass out the ring.
You know what? I would queue up the meme, but I'm pretty sure that specific somebody still creeps in on this show and watches.
But you know
I'm
what?
gonna just keep it a buck.
Hey, Lucas, you better thank me for that meme. You better thank me for that meme.
Chris, it's favorited. It's favorited in my damn photo ops for a reason.
No, but you know what though? You know what? They have Dominic set up real lovely here to where if they decided to break up the Judgment Day, he could be like the leader of the LWO.
You just had to, huh?
No, I'm telling you. They have it set up to where
Thomas, you remember the LWO?
Dom is a better heel though.
Thomas.
The LWO is a good guy faction. Why the fuck?
No, but you can change that with his.
Mysterio.
Hey, they were a heel faction in WCW though.
Right.
They were a heel.
So
yeah, but it's not the same people though.
True.
If for some reason, even if it's a year from now, they decide to break the Judgment Day up, you're not gonna do it now because it's hot right now. But I'm saying if you did, and Mysterio still has this heat, you can have something else for him. Ray gotta retire one of these days. I mean, just have something to where they turn on Rey Mysterio and Dominic could be their leader.
For what?
And they could be a heel faction.
I don't think he necessarily has to become leader of LWO. Nah.
And you see what's going on? Like the bloodline been the hottest thing for. Hold on, the bloodline been the hottest thing for 3 years, right? That's undisputed everywhere. But you see Jay's leaving. Eventually, it's gonna fade. But right now, they put a lot of work on the Judgment Day to where they can get a big story now running. So after they done with the bloodline, they might have a big story for the Judgment Day.
Yeah, I agree with you, and I said that to Lucas too.
And Rhea Ripley should be the leader of Judgment Day.
I had texted him. I said, "Yo,
she is
next to bloodline, Judgment Day is the best storyline."
Definitely.
And just to think, it started with Edge and Ben and Priest. I mean, honestly, let's keep it a buck. All of them are carrying it, but Dom and Ripley and Priest are really carrying the motherfucking Judgment Day. Real talk. I ain't gonna even lie, man. I love the Judgment Day. I love all of them together because.
Let me ask you a question. Where do you factor JD McDonough in all this? Where's he?
It doesn't make sense to me.
It makes see, that's where you're wrong. It makes perfect sense actually, because Finn mentored JD years and years ago. That's why he's stuck with Finn and them in the storyline.
Yeah, I didn't know
so
that.
So does he actually join the Judgment Day?
No, he will be the reason why Finn either turns on the Judgment Day or the Judgment Day beat the shit out of Finn. JD will be the reason. I
don't see Finn turning on the Judgment Day. I see everybody turning on Finn.
No. I'm saying though, it could be some. That's what I'm saying. It could be something where like JD is like trying to help, and then like Damian Priest like super kicks him or like sucker punches him on accident or some shit, and Finn sees that and takes it the wrong way. You know, I'm just spitballing ideas. It's just some shit we've seen before.
Let some long-term storytelling because it's gonna happen eventually. We're gonna get some kind of solution, and I think it's gonna be one of those things that's gonna shock a lot of people.
Finn and Priest are gonna fight down the road eventually.
They're gonna fight down the road. Eventually, they're gonna fight. They're gonna break up. They're gonna lose the tag team titles, and they're gonna end up dissolving. And then something's maybe gonna happen. So, but
something will happen for sure.
Another thing, let me ask y'all about what y'all think about the Street Profits and Bobby Lashley.
Love it.
Oh my god,
they gotta do something with them.
I love
it.
They gotta do something.
I love it. 10 out of 10. This is the best thing.
I like.
So you know what they should do? You know what they should do? If the Judgment Day show up on SmackDown with those belts, jump them. Jump them.
I just need something to happen with them. Like
That's something though. That's something impactful.
Yeah, something.
Yeah, it's something. It's just I understand. Okay, Lashley came out there to talk. He brought Street Profits out there. Okay, he said what they're there for. I'm like, okay, I need something. Like, do something. like. Okay,
see, I don't know.
Somebody.
The problem is
this is one of those you might have to be patient with.
You know.
Well, they love Bobby Lashley, and Bobby Lashley needs to do something to make people not like him.
But they love the Street Profits though too.
Yeah, but the crowd, I think what they're trying to do is they're trying to turn them heel, but at the same time, the crowd is for them.
Can we be honest with each other here? There's really no such thing as a heel or a face nowadays.
Yeah.
But the way WWE wants to perceive these guys, I get it. But to us, it don't mean shit.
No,
we root for the bad guys. We cheer them.
It's been like that since Stone Cold.
Yeah, we always want to say
Stone Cold.
Stone Cold made screwing his boss the fucking thing back in the 90s.
Hey, I even went back to watching the Hart Foundation when the Attitude Era started, bro.
Don't talk about that. Don't talk about that one segment on Raw. Right?
Shut up, Keys. Shut up, Keys.
He said, "Shut up, Keys. Don't bring it up.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
I'll leave if you bring it up. I'll leave.
Luke, hey.
I'll leave. I'll leave. Don't you do it. I will leave. I will leave, and I will watch the rest of this show on this tablet.
Keith, if you bring it up, I'm leaving this podcast
Keith,
right now.
I got it loaded up, too. I will watch the rest of the show.
Bring it up, I'm leaving this podcast right now.
I will watch the rest of this show on my fucking tablet.
I was dying laughing.
I'm pretty sure he sent me that, too.
Yo, I'm telling y'all, 1998 was a wild year in WO. They didn't get... Yo, if y'all offended with some of the shit they got on TV now, go back and watch the Attitude Era and see how much... Now, some of the shit they did in the Attitude Era, if they did that on TV right now, USA Network will be off the air.
Shit, some of the shit
will be off the air.
Some of the shit they did during the fucking Ruthless Aggression era, too. Cena, for example.
A lot of shit they did during the Ruthless Aggression.
Hey, mind you...
The Ruthless Aggression. Nigga, the live sex show?
Hey, can I say one of my favorite things that Cena told when he was doing an interview and just roasting everybody, or he was cutting a promo? Man, he went through two people, got to Lita, and he goes, "Lita's a slut." Just straight bullet to the dome, right to the jugular vein.
Hey, who's
no
Bobby
hesitation.
Rhodes, man? Lucas' favorite wrestling character is Mr. Sacco. Who is Bobby Rhodes? Lucas, you know who Bobby Rhodes is?
Yeah.
You remember
Yeah.
You
said my favorite character is Mr. Sacco?
Yes.
Facts.
When Mick Foley called him out to the ring, Mick Foley called Val Venus to the ring. I want what's in your pants, Val. It's wild out. Then they had a video, GTV?
He said, "Bob, but my name's Billy. It doesn't matter what your name is."
Oh,
I heard Billy Gunn loved that promo that The Rock cut on him.
Man.
Yo, how do you keep straight?
Hey, Lucas, piggybacking off of that, I actually heard that feud sent Billy Gunn back down to the bottom of the totem pole. I heard that it actually fucked his career. Well, not fucked his career up, but when he was the push that they was gonna give him, that feud with The Rock, it set him back.
I mean, it's understandable.
Daddy ass.
Scissor me, daddy.
Scissor me. That's the gayest thing I've heard.
It's fucking hilarious. I ain't gonna
lie.
Hey,
you can't say that. It's cancel culture, Thomas.
Sorry.
Nah, dude.
I forgot.
I was at fucking All Out last year, and the fucking crowd got a "Scissor Me, Daddy" chant going. That shit was hilarious.
Did you see the belts? Did you see the trios belts?
The Barbie belts?
Yeah, the Barbie belt. They're pink now. They got pink. They won the trios titles from House of Black.
So they got custom belts.
And so the belts on the back.
Barbie belt.
I was like, wow.
I forgot, Chris, because the one dude on the team, not the fake Russell Wilson dude that be rapping. The other dude, he's actually.
He looks like Russell Wilson.
He called him fake Russell.
I forgot. No, the other dude.
He looks like a fake ass Russell Wilson.
The other dude is openly like he's openly gay wrestler. The other one.
Yeah, I was gonna say one of them's gay.
Doing this.
Yeah, the other guy.
He reminds me of a bunch
Daniel Garcia.
Who did not express that.
Y'all hold up.
Keith, you better not. Keith,
you can't talk about the gigolo.
Oh shit.
YouTube.com.
You can't say nothing bad about the gigolo.
Gigolo, man. Hey, Hey, rest in peace to Jimmy Dale, whatever his name is. Hey, rest in peace to him, man.
Yo, first of all, somebody put somebody put that video on YouTube, and whoever did it did a great job because it's like on the beat and everything. They did a great editing. The best of Jimmy Del Rey. I watch that video like once a year.
Somebody should bring his gimmick back.
That man used to come to the ring, hit that motherfucker, did he not?
Yeah. I go to the club and do it. I'll do that in the club.
Hey, Thomas, let me find out you hit that in the club.
He did.
I will hit that in the club.
Thomas
in the club.
Had the baby on. I see you with the hamburger meat all out. Looking real, Mike. Looking real, Mike.
I came here to turn my camera on just to turn it back the fuck off.
Thomas had the chain on and everything. Thomas was like, hey,
he used to he would hit somebody with a move and then he would do it while he was walking. He'd be like,
that's how Thomas used to pick women back up in the day. He was like, hey, baby.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you like this: WWF Superstars was OC back in the day.
Oh man, yo,
you remember they used to have the fat dude with the baby oil come out. Big what's his name? Big Dick Johnson. Big Dick Johnson.
All right, man. Let's get on, man.
They was wild.
I'm about ready to leave because y'all
get on, man. Let's
y'all
are way too much. Since it did happen the past 2 weeks, we got to discuss it. All In, AEW All In, All Out happened the past 2 weeks. All In was London. What they said they had 81,000 people at Wembley Stadium, quote unquote 81,000. That's what they said. Just reporting and everything. So the event was it was a decent event.
Mid as fuck.
Get to the fucking point.
I was going over it, man. So All In was in and then they announced at the end of the show. They're bringing All In again back to London next year, 2024. So they'll be back at Wembley Stadium again for All In.
Tony Khan bought half the tickets.
Facts.
Y'all can't tell me otherwise.
He definitely bought them Jacksonville Jaguar belts.
And then
that don't even make no sense.
All Out was on. So what y'all think about this whole MJF Adam Cole line?
Y'all better stop. I will leave so fucking fast. And watch.
What y'all think about this Adam
where's
Cole
my tablet?
MJF shit, man?
Corny as fuck. Next.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Did you want me to elaborate on that? Okay, fine. It is the corniest shit I've ever seen in my life. There, next. That's it. I'm out of here.
Yo, my man hit it smooth when he came to the ring too. I mean, it was smooth. It was in one flow.
If anybody should have had a solo career, it's that dude.
Hey, Jimmy Dale got a heavyweight championship.
All right.
Hey, when the road came off, my
Dr.
man
Tom was a waste of time.
All right, I'm loading up the podcast from my tablet because I cannot deal with you fucking idiots right now.
Oh,
he definitely carried that team.
Oh shit!
Hey, he was the reason why that team was hot, right?
Definitely. They should have turned on him. Him and Cornette should have turned on Dr. Tom.
Hey man, hey, if they would have had some shirts with that man on it, bro, and him hit that move, man, I'll talk about it with a hot seller.
They messed up. They could have had a mixed tag team match with Jimmy Del Rey and Jim Cornette against Dr. Tom Pritchard and Brother Love.
They should do Daniel Garcia and Jimmy Del Rey doing a dance off for a whole show.
If Jimmy Del Rey was still alive, they could have had him and Sonny Kiss as a tag team.
Wait, then Tony Khan fired her.
But
I
don't know if y'all can see this, but it says I give up because that's where I'm at with y'all.
Fuck your tablet.
Fuck you too.
You right. Pause.
Did Sonny Kiss get fired too?
Yeah, he got fired too.
Because he's gay.
Tony Khan felt threatened.
He did because Sonny Kiss came on to him.
I don't know what it is. I don't like Tony Khan, but his pops look real cool though.
His pops buy coochie.
His pops look mad cool.
Oh my God!
I said his pops buy coochie.
All right, y'all. We might as well just go ahead and get into it. The main event topic of the week. Oh, Phil Brooks, aka CM Punk. So, y'all know the story. If you've been hiding underneath the rock, as y'all know, CM Punk was terminated from AEW as Saturday, I believe, the day before All In. Yeah, he was fired. He's terminated from his contract with AEW for as y'all know, CM Punk came back, was it 2 years ago? When Rampage debuted? Rampage debuted like 2 or 3 years ago. And CM Punk was the big draw that came over to AEW and made all kinds of noise. He ended up winning the AEW world title. And then some shit happened with the Elite. Then he was gone. Then he came back. And then, Collision comes on. AEW introduces a new show at Collision on Saturday nights. CM Punk was pretty much the headliner of that show. Had a few incidents backstage with a couple of wrestlers, and that all led up to the big incident with him and Jack Perry that had been backstage.
Jack Perry's the GOAT.
So, and after that incident, they pretty much had enough of CM Punk, and CM Punk was terminated from his contract.
The game changer. The guy that I was told was going to take AEW over the top.
So, I don't know. We want to wait for Chris first. You want Chris to lead this one?
Everybody was telling me that this man was a draw.
You want Chris to lead this one off? You want to lead this one off?
I said I just need 5 minutes, and then I'll let Chris tee off.
All right. Well, go ahead, Luke. What's your opinion in regards to this? And this is why I needed more people on the show, because I definitely wanted to hear some of what y'all had to say.
So for the last 2 years, all I heard was CM Punk's going to, and mind you, this was from multiple people that I personally know, and one of Ja's friends who's a CM Punk pole jocker, but I'll get more into that after. I was told for years that this man was going to take AEW over the top and this and that. He's going to be the reason. Hey, and not to mention, your own friend too said WWE was going to die once he made his debut. Don't think we forgot about that. I certainly didn't, and I know Chris definitely didn't. Fake ass Rikishi. No offense, I know that's your boy, but and then, like I said, for years, I was told by multiple people, CM Punk this, CM Punk that. He's old school. He reminds me of Stone Cold. He reminds me of this. He likes to fuck with his boss, blah, blah, blah. He's going to take AEW over the top. He's a game changer. He's going to make sure AEW hits 1 million every week. Wrong. That couldn't have been more fucking wrong, and I predicted that from the start. AEW was hot. I will admit, when they had all those motherfuckers come over, they were hot for a little bit, but the problem is they did not capitalize. And honestly, Tony Khan should have fired CM Punk last year after that all-out scrum with the Bucks. Should have fired him, but it goes to show that Tony Khan, A, has no backbone, and B, he's a little bitch. Because he's just a stupid wrestling mark with boatloads of money. So, now, this is to all the people that told me that this fucking fraud was going to do all these things, Mr. James, my friend Jason, Ja's friend Maddie, who got body bagged the one time I showed up on Ja's show. I didn't forget about him especially. Who else? Did I mention James?
You mentioned James.
I did mention James. But there's a whole lot of... Oh, and Ricky too. Can't forget about Ricky.
I'm about to say...
Can't forget about Sheamus. I love you, Ricky, but you got to get this one too, my boy. Mr. It's on late. It's on late. We can't let you live that one down, my boy. We never can. But I'll put it to you this way. All CM Brooks haters. What, dude?
He had to sign out, man.
Fucking idiot. But to all the CM Brooks haters, I hope you all enjoyed that bottle of whatever y'all were killing last week to drown out your emotions and tears, because he's gone and he's never coming back. So y'all need to face facts. It's over with. All that shit they talked these couple years was for nothing. How many times did they draw $1 million? A handful of times, maybe. Out of what, the 2 years he was there? So he might have been their top merch seller. Fine, but this man moved no needles, and he did not put anybody over like these stupid fans want to tell me they, he did. Darby Allin was already a star. Not a star, but he was already over before he got in the ring with Phil. And then after that, he refused to take a pin from fucking anybody. So I don't need anybody telling me that CM Punk is this glorified fucking, class act wrestler, or, he puts people over and he's just in it for the bit. No, he showed once again that he was in business for himself. And that's all he will ever do down the line. Hey, he could go back to UFC again. Not. Get his ass knocked the fuck out. All right, that's it. I'm done. Chris, the floor is yours.
Is he there? Champ?
Champ? Is Champ there?
Is Champ there?
It's a clap.
Am I talking to Champ?
He's he may have stepped away for a minute. Thomas, you got any comments in regards?
And his name is John Cena.
Oh, he's back.
Oh, he's back. Damn, he's getting the shit.
Okay. So, yeah. Let me start off with this. I never like to see anybody lose their job. Okay.
Except Phil.
You got your livelihood and everything like that. I don't want to see anybody lose their job, but I will say this, and I'm going to call out some names. I'm going to call out some names. It is what it is. Ricky.
Oh, why would you say that?
Ricky. James. Thomas. And a lot of other CM Punk marks. I need y'all to hold this L. Number one. Oh, Tim, you need to hold this L. What's your man's name from Fuego Beats? Whatever, I don't give a shit. You need to hold this L. One question I gotta ask: is WWE still dead? Nobody can seem to answer that question for me. But it was easy. It was easy to be said, though, right? When CM Punk came back that weekend, and then Adam Cole came back that weekend, what was the narrative? Lucas, can you tell me what the narrative was?
I think it went along the lines of something stupid like WWE is dead.
What else? There was some other shit that was involved. Oh, AEW is this. It's a head and shoulders above the rest. Oh, it's a safe place. It's the best work environment ever. Khan's gonna end up buying WWE.
That was the funniest one I've ever heard in my fucking life.
So I have to answer this question. I'm gonna start it with Ricky. Ricky, when are you my boy? I love you to death, but when are you going to acknowledge AEW has made you look bad? When are you going to acknowledge this? You was geek for you. Matter of fact, you went and saw Punk come back, and you was overly excited. How did that work out? You was excited for Jeff Hardy. How did that work out for you? You have been excited for AEW. How has that worked out for you? James, you were the biggest ones talking about some CM Punk this and CM Punk that. How has that worked? Oh, you haven't even responded to my text messages, so I know how that's worked out for you.
We know.
To the creators of Fuego Beats, you guys made
well, not Fuego Beats, but Holly Street, man. Fuego gonna be coming at me. Fuego say, the fuck did I say?
Holly Grove, whatever the fuck.
He gonna be coming at me tomorrow.
Holly Grove, whatever.
What you talking about me on your show for, man? I'm like, nah, he ain't meaning like that.
No. Holly Grove, whatever the fuck. What I'm trying to say, you made the comment, WWE is dead. Do you know what you mean when you make a bold statement like that? Do you know what that means when you make a bold statement like that?
That's very bold. That's like top notch. That's top level. Very bold.
So I asked this. All of those people, Tim, you too.
Mr. I'm all elite, guys.
Tim, you can unblock me. I'm not your problem. I'm not your problem, fam. It's funny. Never mind. We ain't gonna get on that. Tim, you guys got happy dick when CM Punk came back. Ricky, Tim, Buddy from Holly Grove, James, all of y'all. Look at y'all now. What's the excuse now? This man lasted a total of 2 years. Let's not forget, he was injured for 9 months of those 2 years. So let's say a year and a half. This is supposed to be the needle mover, right? He's supposed to move the needle.
Yep.
How are you firing your needle mover? I just want to know. What does that let you know about? See, this is the thing. CM Punk, you guys got excited. CM Punk, the first thing he did was get on AEW and blast WWE. Wrong or right? He did. I've always agreed with CM Punk leaving WWE. I felt he had the right. But don't be one of them bitter ass ex-girlfriends and continue to talk about your ex while you're in a new relationship. And guess what? That hindered him and that backfired on him. Now he's in the unemployment line. Once again, I hate that, people lose their job, but at the same time, CM Punk brought this on himself. He thought he was bigger than AEW. And let's not act like, don't act like Tony Khan is not at fault too. He's definitely at fault. Oh, y'all left me? Yeah, y'all bogus as hell. But he's definitely at fault.
What you talk, fam?
No, he's definitely at fault. Tony Khan is definitely at fault because he allowed a lot of this shit to happen. Tony Khan allowed it to be an unsafe work environment. People can sit there and try to blame, the elite, and they can blame Jack Perry all they want. The common denominator has been CM Punk. You want to know why? Because CM Punk thinks he's head and shoulders above the rest. Let me tell you something. CM Punk cannot lace up Kenny Omega's boots. Not Kenny Omega. CM Punk cannot lace up Samoa Joe's boots. CM Punk cannot lace up Sting's boots. CM Punk. Let's go ahead and look at this 2 years that CM Punk has been in AEW. Each match he's been carried, wrong or right. If you go back and watch any CM Punk match in AEW, he has been carried. He has been botched mania. Oh, because he comes out and gives 20 minutes of mic time, people think that's a good. Nobody ever said CM Punk was not a great speaker. He's definitely good on the mic. And he's definitely good in the ring. But CM Punk's ego is inflated. So once again, I think this goes to serve him right. But I'm more laughing at the fans of his. If you watched all week, Thomas, bring your punk ass back here. Thomas is one of them. A lot of CM Punk fans are claiming it's a work. It's a work? Why? How's it a work? Ain't nobody getting fired as a work. How you gonna get fired before the pay-per-view that's in your hometown and that be a work? Make that make sense.
There's storyline firing and then there's real firing.
Right.
So when y'all look at this is a very real termination. This is not storyline shit. This was a real termination. This is not
absolutely.
Yeah. You got fired. I know you get fired on your day off.
Yeah, or you get fired or something like that, and you'd be like, oh, it's just a storyline. They come back in 2 or 3 weeks. No, this was a real termination. This is a real termination. This is a real termination. Like, we're not, and it's not like being funny or anything. This was a real termination. This is not storyline. This is not work. This is a real story. This is a real termination. This man really got terminated. But go ahead, Chris.
Right, facts. So the way I look at it is like, and then everybody, he's gonna come back to WWE. I'm sorry, I don't believe that. Tripp don't want him, and neither
I don't want him there.
I don't want him in WWE either.
You got a lot of guys that don't want him in WWE. I think Seth Rollins said he was one of them.
I think Tripp don't want him, and everybody say, well, he brought Ultimate Warrior back, or he brought Bret the Hitman Hart back, or he did that. They did that. So let me tell you something. When Warrior came. And God rest the man's soul. When Warrior came back, he died the next day. When they brought back Bret the Hitman Hart, they put out a DVD that they had to stop because how it made Bret the Hitman Hart look. You mean to tell me? And first of all, and another thing is, as much as I don't like Bret the Hitman Hart was not a locker room cancer. Bret Hart did business with people. He was willing to do business with people. Just him and Shawn Michaels couldn't get along. CM Punk, they gave CM Punk his own show. And he had the audacity to say who can be on that show. Excuse me? You've been gone 7 years, bro. You've been gone 7 years. And you came back and you look like shit. You're not in shape. The wrestling matches that you put on, your opponent's the one carrying you. You think you're bigger than everybody else, but you know who else I blame that? I blame the stupid-ass fans. I blame them.
AEW has the dumbest fucking fan base on the planet.
And so does CM Punk.
They're the worst fans to ever happen to the wrestling community.
And so does CM, and you know what? CM Punk.
All of them.
CM Punk has the worst fan base too. But also, let me tell you another thing. CM Punk is not known within a 5-mile radius. I'm taking that off. I'm reciting something that 50 Cent said. CM Punk only gets the pop that he gets in Chicago.
That's facts.
And I'm gonna tell you like this: living in Chicago, our fans aren't the smartest, and you know that, Lucas. Our fans are not the smartest.
No, they are not. Now, some wrestling fans might be smart, but
Chicago wrestling fans are not the smartest. If you're a fan of CM Punk, you're not the smartest.
Chicago WWE fans are the smartest.
They're some of them aren't smart either.
Some aren't. Yeah, I agree.
Because they chant CM Punk at we didn't been to a few places. We didn't been to a few events where they chanted CM Punk. They're not the smartest.
And I guarantee you, those were fucking AEW fans there
to
try to hijack
right.
the show to make a point. Like, you ain't making no point. You're just proving how much of a fucking loser you are.
But I will say this. If by some chance Vince and Tripp give CM Punk another chance,
no.
Hold on.
Okay, I got a question, but go ahead.
I bet you CM Punk is going to have to do some ass kissing and meat sucking. Because I'm going to tell you like this. Remember how they treated the WCW guys when they came over for the invasion? You think that's not going to happen to CM Punk? And CM Punk can't piss and moan his way out of this because guess what? He ain't going to whoop everybody in that locker room.
Nah, he'll be the one getting whooped.
He'll be the one getting his ass whooped. He can't whoop everybody in that locker room.
Crazy question. Do you think Vince is that sick to do something like that, to hire CM Punk? Do you think he would sit there and you know, I was talking to my homeboy about this too. I was like, I'm like, the way Vince's mind is set up, I'm thinking in my mind, he's sick enough to do something like this. He would sit there and be like, tell Triple H, like, hey, you know what? Oh, damn, pick 6. Sorry, got distracted. I'm sorry, game is on one screen and then everything. The game is on. I'm trying to do the show and watch the game. I'm doing the show and watching the game on another screen. Anyways, but I was mentioning to him, like, you think Vince will sit there and tell Triple H, hey, why don't we bring him in? Why don't we just, listen, hear me out. He's like, hear me out. Let me just bring him in and talk. But I know, like Chris said, there would be some shit that he would have to do a lot of ass kissing. There would be a long ass meeting in regards to what he would have to do to get back in there. Personally, I don't think he's going back to WWE. It's just
I don't either.
All your bridges are burned. So those bridges are past burned. So there's Vince would consider it, but not seriously. It's just it's something to laugh at, but at the end of the day, it's not. I don't think he will take it into consideration.
I ask you this: with the massive ego that he has, do you think CM Punk will humble himself
after everything that's been going down? Though,
I don't think that either.
I don't.
See, the difference between Bret Hart, Bret humbled himself. Ultimate Warrior humbled himself. Hulk Hogan humbled himself. Stone Cold Steve Austin, he humbled himself. Stone Cold Steve Austin said that was the worst mistake he's ever made, and he wished he could do it over again. But he humbled himself, and he was actually a mega star. CM Punk believes he's a mega star, and you got dumbass fans making him think that he's a mega star, and he's not. Like I said, I've been arguing with CM Punk AEW fanatics all fucking week. And they really believe that Punk is more than who he was. And that's sad. That's sad. 2 companies have let him go. AEW, which needed him, let him go. What does that tell you? What does that tell you? And Tony Khan was sucking him up. So I look at it like this. This man, he went to UFC, he did horrible. Everywhere he's went, he's not done good. And everybody has let him go. Like you said, Keith, those bridges are burned. They burned to the motherfucking ground. So what do? You fans can't be idiots your whole life. That's the way I look at it. And I'm done.
Understandable. Yeah, his bridges are burned. So you can't, not too many places for him to go. So he pretty much, like you say, like both of us say, he burned all of his bridges. So it's gonna be hard try to get back in good graces. And it's like, and you hear a lot of fans, and that's why I wanted to hear the narrative behind a lot of the fans who were like, well, they want to blame the elite and all this and this and that and everything. I'm like, well, like Chris said, this was all on CM Punk. This had nothing to do with the elite. The elite was minding their business. They were minding their business. They were on completely separate shows. So they never even crossed paths with this man. So all this shit did, this man brought it on himself. So it's gonna, this whole saga and everything, you're gonna hear about this shit going on and on and on and on for the next couple of months. It's pretty much the story of the year in regards to him being let go and everything like that. So, I mean, where AEW, where they're going to go from here, they're just going to go. I mean, you move on. There's nothing you can do. I mean, he's gone and everything. The whole thing about the real world title, I was like, him painting the X on the top, I was like, it was already too much with the show, and then you got the real world title, and I'm like, what is the real world title? I'm like, I didn't get that. I'm like, it was to the point, and then every story, like day after day after day, backstage argument, he got into somebody. Monday, he got into somebody. Tuesday, it was an incident reported. Wednesday, incident reported. Thursday, backstage incident reported. Friday, it's like every other day we were reading like the 434 page. It's an incident every single day. Like, dude, I'm like, it's like, I can see if it didn't go like 2 or 3 weeks if you didn't hear anything. But if you wouldn't hear, I'm like, but it was on a daily basis. He was getting to it with somebody every day. And it's like, after a while, it was kind of like, all right, it's not, I got to the point where it's like, it's just not funny anymore. It's not funny. I didn't find it funny at all. It's like, bruh, it's like, why? It's like, at that point, the firing caught me off guard. I ain't gonna lie. It did fire. It caught me off guard. I didn't see it coming.
Me too. I didn't think Khan had it in him.
I didn't see it coming. I really did not see his termination coming because I thought after all in everything, I thought, hey, everything was good. Then I heard about the Jack Perry incident. I'm like, okay, he's always had an incident with somebody. So they suspended him. I'm like, all right, suspension, 2 weeks, blah, blah, blah. He'll be gone off of TV. He'll probably be back in late September, early October, get into a feud with somebody else. Then when they got the news that he got fired, I was like, oh, he really fired him. I was like, okay. I didn't expect that.
Work. Let Thomas tell it.
All right,
I'm gonna tell a lot.
Speak, Thomas. Speak.
Let me talk to you.
Let me speak. This is your chance. I'm opening up the floor.
All right. So what I'm gonna try to do is, because I know Lucas and Chris just dropped a lot of, hatred and made some valuable points, but I'm gonna try to give like a different point to it. You know what I mean? I'm going to try it. Hey, I'll be honest with you. I told you earlier, like, I'm a little bit behind on watching AEW. I don't watch it consistently on a weekly basis. I do appreciate the fact that there is other wrestling out there. Because I love WWE, you know what I mean? I always have, but I want to see something different. With that being said, I'm going to go back to when Punk first came. Well, actually, when he first left WWE. Every show that was coming up, people was yelling for him and screaming for him. And, we just never saw him. And, a while went by, maybe a full year went by. We was like, oh, okay, they're in Chicago now. Is he going to come back? And he never did, so we realized, like, okay, this dude is done. So people were chanting for him. And then eventually, the chanting stopped. And then it was let us know that he was coming back to AEW. I think they could have brought his return more of like a surprise. And I know we don't really do surprises no more without all, because all of these platforms and social media, you find out. It's not like back in the day where somebody just ran out and you was like, oh shit, he's back. You usually know everything in advance, which it kind of sucks, to be honest with you, but it is what it is. So when it was announced that he was coming back to AEW, I think a lot of people was curious and a lot of people tuned in, even if they didn't like him. They were like, oh, okay, it's gonna be good to see him. And, the first match he had was with Darby Allin. And, you could say, okay, well, the dude really hasn't been out there in a while. He didn't have a match, so he was a little rusty. I felt that Darby Allin carried that match.
I did too. I'll be honest with you, Thomas. When I watched that match,
if you rewatch it now, you can see that Darby Allin carried the match.
He was off. Punk was off to me that match.
Oh yeah, and you know what? I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. You haven't wrestled, in years. It's like anything else. Maybe if you don't ride a bike in 10 years, maybe you get on it and you don't balance properly. Whatever. It is what it is. But a couple matches after that, I'm noticing the same thing, and I'm like, okay, he is older. He can still talk on the microphone, but it just wasn't in there. And the reason, I'm going to tell you what I was thinking when he was wrestling at the same time. And I know it's two different people, but I was watching Edge wrestle, and Edge is old, but damn it, Edge still got it in the ring. Edge can go with anybody in the company. But when I'm looking at CM Punk, and when he first came to AEW, he was naming all these wrestlers that he wanted to work with. But I'm like, maybe 5 years ago, an Omega match would have been good. But now it's like, I know I personally, I really don't want to see, because he can't go the way he used to be able to go in the ring. He just can't. So, and I know they covered a lot. But I'm going to say that all these incidents that you were mentioning that were going on, it's like he wanted to get fired. He was trying to get fired. Like, but it didn't go the way.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
But he wanted to get fired with his paycheck, though. And by the way this is looking, it looks like it's going to become a legal issue. And yeah, I told Chris, I said, oh yeah, it might be a work. But then somebody else pointed on, like, Tony is not that creative to come up with a work like this. You know what I mean? And I wasn't even sure, to be honest with you. I questioned if Jack Perry really got suspended and really got fined. I mean, I don't know that. You know what I mean?
It's hard to tell. I honestly think Perry is
suspended. But I know this will hurt him, because, to be honest with you, I was kind of digging his little heel turn.
Yeah, because he got the FTW title, and then he lost it. I was wondering when he lost the title at All In to Hook. And I was like, well, damn, he just got the belt.
Yeah, Hook
And
sucks,
I'm
by
like,
the way.
well, damn, he dropped the belt that quick. I'm like, so what the hell was the whole
Something
purpose of winning?
happened, yeah.
I was like,
Because
that's when I knew. Then when the story came out, that's when I knew, okay, something must have happened to where he dropped the belt too quick. He just won it like
but
2-3 weeks
I
ago.
will say when he, because he is on, I thought he's got a flame. He's got a flame going on. So when he does eventually come back, and I don't know what kind of legal issue this is going to bring between Punk and Tony Khan, but I will say that I'm thinking when Jack Perry does come back, they got to find a way to kind of build this into his story without mentioning CM Punk's name.
I agree.
It's gotta be something, because Perry just can't come out there and just be regular like none of this ever happened.
Hey Thomas, I you know what? Now that you explain everything, I definitely get exactly where you're coming from. So I get where you're coming from as far as why you perceived it as a work. I kind of feel like, but this is where I kind of feel like the reason why I was kind of like saying like, okay, how you sound is because that's exactly what a CM Punk fan says. Oh, it's a work. Oh, it's a work. Because it's the same thing that happened when he got suspended last year with the whole elite thing. All his fans, oh, it's a work. Oh, it's a work. At what point do you hold him accountable?
Right.
Everything cannot be a work. And then hold on, and I'm gonna piggyback off of something you also said. You said, and then you heard some people say Khan is not that smart. And you know what? The same people I heard, well, WWE had backstage this, and WCW had backstage this, and they didn't get fired. You also got to understand something. We live in a different time now. Where you heard about backstage stuff, the internet wasn't as popular as it is now. Social media isn't as popular as now. You had your stupid ass punk motherfuckers like Dave Meltzer, but you had to go deep and damn into the dark web to find out what happened backstage. Yeah. Here in Chicago, we had a Chicago Sun-Times where there was a editor who actually spoke about backstage politics and the stuff like that. So we would have to wait till Sundays to hear these things.
We had that in New York too. Dude was called the Slammer. There you go. He was the Slammer, and he had a mask on.
Yeah, his name was like something Brown or something like for us out here.
Yeah.
But the fact of the matter is now times have changed to where everything is on the internet. We know who's going to see, and Lucas will tell you this. Remember back in the day, how we never knew our star was going to return until they returned, right?
The Ultimate Warrior.
The Mean Gene Hotline on WCW.
Yeah. Now, all you got to do is just look up on Facebook, oh, this person is returning next week.
They got pictures of him at the airport.
Yeah, exactly.
I hate
put two and two together.
Yeah, so what I'm saying is like, there's a lot of fans that refuse to, and it's like with a kid. My kid won't do this. My kid is not like that. That's not him. Everything like that. That's how y'all AEW CM Punk fans are acting right now. He didn't do this. Well, how come Jack Perry was able to do this? First of all, Jack Perry did not acknowledge him. CM Punk thinking that he's bigger than the company. He went to Jack Perry and started with him. Once again, he called out the elite. He said, if anybody got a problem, you can meet me in my dressing room. So if somebody come at you, of course you're going to come. All right, I'm going to see what you're talking about.
Yeah.
You cannot throw stones and then try to hide your hand.
But I think this dude was trying to get fired because when he was in WWE has more organization. Let's be real, because this whole AEW thing is like how WCW was, where the talent was running the show.
Facts.
And it 100%. Led to a disaster. So 100%. What's going on now? And I don't watch it every week, but you can tell, like when I watched Khan's speech about 3 times, and he was talking about, he kept saying that, he was dealing with this, and then he kept talking about the committee, and basically saying that he almost said like he didn't really want to fire this dude, but then they kind of made him fire. And then all I was thinking, I was like, to me in my head, he's talking about the elite. And then there's a reason, when they created that Collision show, somewhere, it was, okay, well, this is going to be the CM Punk show. And the people that didn't want to work with him, they stayed on Dynamite. You know what I mean? So I don't know.
I noticed that
Punk
too,
was able to
Thomas.
handpick who he wanted on his show.
Right. So now what happens now? And two, I'll credit one thing. You know what I mean? Because I looked this up today. They said that the moment that Tony Khan announced that CM Punk was fired, they said instantly their ratings went down 19%. And people started watching, Payback or whatever they was watching right away. So, of course, there's people that are there to watch CM Punk. I'm going to say one thing that I think AEW can right this wrong right away, because we know, and we all four of us just said the same thing. And what you're saying is that the CM Punk fan, they won't realize it. I watched all of CM Punk matches since he's been back. He was carried in all of them. So he's washed. But
Absolutely.
what I was telling when I first started, at the same time, and I'm not trying to compare them, I watched Edge's comeback. Edge, I don't know what the difference is in age, but Edge is an old man. That man can still go in the ring. So here it is.
Put on a bad match. Edge has not put on a bad match. Even with the mixed tag team with Beth Phoenix, he didn't put on a bad match.
Here's what AEW can do to fix this problem right now. Because there's so many issues about Edge's contract in WWE, and there's rumors that if he can go to AEW, blah, blah, blah. That's what they should do. That man should be brought to Collision right now. Whatever his compete clause is or whatever. Because you know what? He can definitely wrestle better than Punk right now. He can go with anybody in that company. And you already know what kind of character he is. He can do everything, the mic work and everything. You will forget about CM Punk real fast. That's how you do it. But what interesting, what I was saying before was they're already setting this thing up legally. And then like I said, I don't know if anybody noticed this or whatever, but they kept throwing around certain terminologies. And Khan kept saying how he felt threatened, right? Isn't that what they did when they fired Urban Meyer? They said that they felt threatened and that the atmosphere wasn't safe. Well, and I think that they fired Urban Meyer. I don't think they paid him the money that was left on his contract either.
Hey, Thomas, that's a bad comparison, because if you want to get technical,
but it's the same family.
That Florida team was some thugs and some motherfuckers. You had a killer on that motherfucker. So
literally.
So yeah, I can see why people felt threatened and their lives in danger. But I'm gonna agree with you on that, because piggybacking off of that. But also, you and I, all of us know corporate talk. We all know corporate talk. Khan was talking corporate talk. So he had to use different lingo and everything like that to say, it was a hostile work environment. Do I agree with he's saying, my life was in danger? No, I don't. But
no. Not if you've seen Punk's UFC fights. His life wasn't in no danger.
But from what I've read, Khan has protected Punk during this whole ordeal, because a lot happened that they won't speak on. And that's why he said, my life was in danger. They're saying a lot happened. And he said he was trying to protect his image and everything like that to go ahead. And that's why he used that terminology, because there was some things that has not been brought out because Khan was protecting him.
Yeah.
So I don't know. For the simple fact is, like, you know how much of a pipsqueak Tony Khan is. CM Punk would have broke him in half.
Yeah.
So who's to say when they say CM Punk lunged at him, he could have lunged at him trying to choke him. You never know. But he's speaking corporate talk. You know that.
Oh, yeah.
Also, I'm going to say this too. And it's another thing CM Punk Smarts was saying. Well, when they announced that he was fired, they lost ratings, this and the other. Well, let me ask you a question. What ratings was Collision putting up with Phil Brooks?
Yeah, they were saying that it was like 380,000, and then it dropped 19% from that.
But they put up the numbers since Phil Brooks has been back. They have dropped each will. They call him no meal Phil. He cannot get a meal. Let me tell you something. the million viewers for AEW, that shit's dead, bro. That's done. AEW is finna go down the path of Impact now. I want you to. The only difference, the reason why people are considering AEW the second option is because of who they have backing them, which is Turner Broadcast. And who was on Turner Broadcast? WCW. But
what I'm trying to say is I'm trying to my best to give like a non-biased opinion, so that way people just don't think that we just hate AEW, because I want there to be something else to watch. But 100%. What I'm saying is that what Tony Khan needs to do is there got to be some stability in the back, and he's got to hire people that know how to run the damn business. Because what he is, he's just, to be honest with you, he's just us with money.
Fact.
That's all he is. He's a wrestling fan, because there is plenty of pictures of him prior to AEW starting where he's backstage at WWE events. He obviously is a WWE fan. He follows the product. But
he's a wrestling fan that's a huge dumbass with money.
He needs storylines. He does not know how to create. People keep calling him Booker of the Year, this and that. There's no storylines in AEW. What it is,
nobody ever called him Booker of the Year.
It's a grown man.
He was named Booker of the Year. Yeah,
I'm gonna tell you what is perfectly. It's a grown man playing with action figures.
Facts.
There's no stories. They just take two names and they throw them in the ring on like a week's notice. Oh, next week Kenny Omega is gonna fight Penta El Zero Meadow, and there's no story. There's no buildup. And then they got guys over there that I'm just like, yo, these guys should be the number one guy or whatever, and they're just like Penta, one of my favorites. The worst thing, this guy's thrown into a tag team.
Pentagon is my favorite. Next to
Kenny. Now my favorite second promotion other than the original ECW. You knew I was the Lucha Underground fan, and Penta was by far like my favorite guy on there.
Yeah.
And if you know, sometimes you're like, man, if this was that dude was out there whipping ass.
Yeah, he was.
You know what I mean? And to put him in a tag team, and nothing against Ray Phoenix, but I mean, he didn't belong. You know, that dude needed to be a solo star. And they didn't do nothing with him. They dropped the ball on him.
You know what? I agree, but the Lucha Brothers is the reason why I end up watching AEW and Kenny Omega.
All they keep doing is every time somebody would leave WWE, they're like, oh, let me throw him some money. Let me get him over here. Then you have so much talent. And then now you got like 5 shows and you still don't know how to utilize this talent.
You don't.
But now you got to do this. You can't, because if you do this branding, it's gonna look like you're copying off WWE with the Raw and SmackDown. But you got to showcase this different talent on the different shows. Like from what I'm understanding is that I've seen like 1 or 2 episodes of Collision, but from what the feedback that I got is Collision is a totally different show than Dynamite, which is great. That's a great thing. If it is, it's a great thing. I'm saying. And if you don't feel it is, then it should be.
Rampage on Saturday. That's it.
Right, but that's what they should do. And first of all, wrestling on Saturday shouldn't be every Saturday anyway. It should be like once every 2 months, like or whatever. Like Saturday Night Main Event was. It should be like like a great show, a special show, but not quite. You know, back in the day, like they had to have these shows where maybe the people that couldn't afford to spend $60 a month, to watch a pay-per-view, let's like, oh, we're gonna throw something on Fox for them as a treat. And then it was something big. You might throw like a big tag team match on there or something. You know what I mean?
Or a big singles match, right?
Tony needs people, and he does never ever need to have a microphone in his hand on his show because he has zero charisma. He cannot be a character like a Vince McMahon. I am being dead serious. This dude on the microphone is worse than Bret Hart. He's horrible. He should not talk. He needs to have some kind of like figurehead on TV who's like a commissioner or a president, do the talking. And you know what? He had a pot of gold with William Regal and he fucked that up. That was messed up. because that dude, from what I heard, had a big issue with CM Punk, and that's the reason why Regal was gone, because of Punk.
Yeah, but to piggyback on what you said, Thomas, in regards,
And Triple H got Regal back real fast.
he did.
Facts.
Yeah, I'm not. When I found out,
But Regal should have never left.
Yeah.
No, he shouldn't have.
When I found out Collision was going to be on Saturday nights, I was not a fan of the time slot because it's
Not weekly.
Yeah. It's just I wasn't a fan of the time slot because the time where everything is like when he started in June, it's like you have to fast forward to the fall because now it's like what's going to happen when college football starts back up, when NFL starts back up. It's kind of like you already got WWE moving their pay-per-views to Saturday nights now. And it's kind of like it's too many things coming up on Saturday nights, you know,
right?
Especially with the holidays and everything like that. It's too many things coming up on Saturdays to where it's not going to be able to keep your attention because it's like pay-per-view on Saturday night.
It should have been like how WCW was running the Clash of the Champions show back in the day. Once in a while, maybe 2 or 3 or 4 of them per year. And
remember
that's it.
Remember Clash of the Championship? Remember Clash of the Champions will come on either a Tuesday or a Thursday.
Yeah, just throw it on this Tuesday in Texas. Just throw it on.
Texas Tornado Tuesday or something like that.
No, the WWE ran a Tuesday in Texas one time because they wanted
one time and it was a failure. It was
horrible. But they needed that. They needed that title change. That's all. They just wanted a title change to take place, so they threw an event together.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, at some point, it's like I just wasn't a fan of the Tuesday, and then the Rampage time frame at 10 o'clock at night. I just didn't understand that time as well. It's like when you watch SmackDown on Friday night, I'm clocked out at 10 o'clock.
You can't go out there, baby.
I'm pretty much clocked out at 10 o'clock for as far as wrestling is concerned. It's like I don't want to watch anything after 10 o'clock.
DVR.
Yeah, you know, so I can find something to downstairs. It's just I was just confused about the
time frame, man. She's right downstairs.
But the only time the only way that you can make these odd hour shows work is with a storyline to where you can't wait to tune in the next week. There's no storyline. All they did was they announced the matches, and I'm like, we got this guy versus this guy, but there's no buildup. If there was a buildup, it doesn't matter what time that show came on, people would watch it. If there was a buildup. If there's a great buildup right now, if Roman Reigns was defending the title next Wednesday at 3 o'clock in the morning, and there was a great buildup, guess what we're gonna do at 3 o'clock in the morning? We're gonna watch it.
We're gonna watch that motherfucker at 3 in the morning.
Right.
And we're gonna acknowledge.
But you turn on AEW and you got 2 people that you be like, oh wow, this is Kenny Omega against Daniel Bryan, but we didn't even know they was really gonna wrestle, but they in the ring together. No build-up. You need a build-up.
But let these AEW marks tell you, oh, it's some kind of fan. It's some special booking. You just don't understand it. You have to watch the show. Man,
There's no booking at all. They're just throwing 2 guys in the ring, and that's it. There's no build-up.
And
the amount of times I heard that stupid ass shit.
Thomas, you know what? Everybody's like, okay, and hold on. And I feel like I always have to say this on this show. Or I always have to say this to somebody. Of course, I want to see something different. Of course, I want to see competition. I mean, we grew up on that shit. We grew up on competition. She's downstairs, baby.
So my thing with AEW is like during their inception, they were advertising like, no, we're not trying to be competition. We're just an alternative to WWE. That was fine. The problem became when they started, taking shots left and right weekly just to get cheap pops. Like, don't sit there and say you're not trying to be competition when all you do is bring up the competition.
And Lucas, exactly what you said, exactly that, Thomas. So that's what I'm trying to say. If I'm all for competition. But if you have not established yourself, and this is where social media and times are different have came in now. If you have not established yourself, you're coming off of the first day you claimed you were better than WWE. A 50-year conglomerate compared to a one-day indie promotion that, hold on, let's get something straight. AEW would not be around if it wasn't for social media. Am I wrong or right? Once again, we did not know about, first of all, indie wrestling, unless you was an actual mark for wrestling, that's the only way you knew about indie wrestling back in the day. Now that social media is a conglomerate, and now that the internet is bigger than the fucking world, now you know about the indies. Let's get something straight. Kenny Omega's work in Japan is the reason why AEW is around. The Young Bucks touring the world is the reason why AEW is around. Cody Rhodes venturing out into the indie circuit is the reason why AEW is around. Because let's get something straight. ROH was around for the longest. TNA Impact was around for the longest. Indie wrestling has been around for the longest. MLW has been around for the longest. Florida wrestling was around for the longest. NWA. So you gotta understand that AEW is just all of those companies with a bigger financial backing. So once again, I want that too, but I hate their fans. Their fans has made it. Let's get something straight. As much as Ja talks shit, Impact Wrestling is around not because of their fans being stupid ass idiots. AEW has the most dumbest. And hold on, WWE got dumbass fans too. Let's not get it twisted. Because I found myself arguing with WWE fans. We all WWE fans, but I found myself arguing with WWE marks too.
A little more than usual sometimes too. That's the problem. A little more than usual sometimes too. That's the problem.
So I mean, I'm WWE got marks too, but AEW fans, they contradict themselves too much.
Biggest.
Once again, and I'm gonna say this like this: you cannot use the same excuse for when they're doing good for when they're doing bad. I don't want to hear when they're doing good. Oh, they've only been up for 3 years and they're doing this great. But then when they're doing shit, oh, well, they've only been up for 3 years.
Yeah.
That's my issue. AEW fans, and once again, I've said this on this show many times. Lucas will tell you this all the time. Lucas would come over to my house when we watch Wednesday night wrestling and be like, why do you have this shit on your TV?
No, what happened was I told Chris to put on NXT and this motherfucker turned on AEW. Boy, if you don't.
but Thomas and Keith.
Back when it was on the same night.
Thomas and Keith. Yeah. We come from that era, though. We come from where we had different wrestling organizations being. We come from that changing the TNT to USA on Monday nights. Bro, we come from that.
That's when I was just getting introduced.
The struggle of having one television.
Yes.
And going back and forth.
Hold on.
If y'all young kids don't know, that was the struggle.
Thomas and Keith. We come from the era where we had to stay up till 1:30 in the morning to watch wrestling on a Saturday night. We come from that era.
I watched them worldwide.
We come from the Saturday night main event slot.
Y'all want to hear?
I was watching WCW worldwide with the spinning ring at midnight.
Hey Thomas, I'm gonna give you another one. WCW main event.
Yeah.
On Sundays. Remember that?
Yeah. And the Saturday night. Yeah.
And it's WCW Saturday night. Hold on, we come from the era where we had to go find ECW on your local television.
I found it by accident one day.
And you found it by accident.
It was here on Fox in Virginia Beach.
It was in Chicago. It was on the U. It was on the U.
It was on like 2 different networks here in Virginia Beach.
Yeah, we had it on MSG.
And then it was on TNN. And then it was on TNN on Friday.
So it's crazy because like my brother and I shared a room growing up, and we had 2 TVs in that motherfucker. So we had like a normal size TV, and then like one little box TVs that you had like in the kitchen and shit.
Facts.
And you know what was great? You know, I'm telling you, ECW was so great because it was different. I like the wrestling in the small arenas. and not all the fancy pyro and all this other stuff. And you know what? It wasn't just like violent wrestling and people hitting each other with chairs. They had some classic matches. They had some real good matches on ECW.
So this is where I'm a hoe.
First time I had seen somebody use a table or a chair as a weapon, and I was like, "Oh shit!" Makes me want to watch this. I'm like, "Wait a minute." So they use weapons. Okay, I'm interested. Let me watch. Then I see dudes just jumping from the ring into the crowd. I'm like, "Well, damn, we just jumping on fans now." I was like, "Oh shit!"
So this is where
I don't know. Like I like the pay-per-views where they have the fancy entrances and all that stuff, but man, you have a show when it's like NXT, when it's not that fancy stuff. Like when WWE had the Shotgun Saturday Night, when that first started, and they was in a club, and they had I loved that show. Man, I loved it. It was in a smaller ring too. They didn't even have that big of a ring. It was a smaller ring, and you got Ahmed Johnson, Pearl Ribbon plunging people on cars. Man, that was a dope show.
It was D'Lo Brown.
That was a dope show. I missed that show. And then when it became regular, where it was like how main event is now, where they would have like dark matches, and it was just in a regular arena. Like they would do Shotgun Saturday Night before Raw. Then it sucked. But when it was in that club, oh man, that was popping.
100%. And that's what I'm talking about. Oh, my bad, Keith. Go ahead. My bad, Keith. Sorry.
Well, I was saying we came from an era where I'm like, y'all have to remember from going all the way back to the early 90s when Monday Night Raw was only an hour and everything. So when we, and like I said, I'm a wrestling fan overall.
55 minutes.
And it come on 8 o'clock.
It came on 8 o'clock and it went off at 9. That was it.
Unless they had that stupid dog show, then it'd be canceled.
Come on at 11.
When the West
I hated them dogs, man.
But yo, we came from the era
Westmaster.
It was only for 1 hour, and that was it. So that was it. And like I said, I'm a wrestling fan, so like Thomas said, I like variety. So I watch them all. I watch WWE. I watch AEW. I watch Ring of Honor. I watch New Japan. I like variety. So it's kind of like I don't want to get bored stuck in watching the same thing, and that's why I follow it so carefully, because I'm intrigued by the storylines. I'm trying to see who's this guy going against this guy. So
what was your favorite show that used to come on after Raw?
Silk Stockings.
That's a good question.
Silk Stockings.
It was Duckman. Duckman was the shit.
Hold on, wait. It was
Duckman.
What was it called? It was that like that. It wasn't Highlander. It was
Quantum Leap. Talking about the joint with Quantum Leap. Yeah.
Quantum
you remember Duckman? Yo, Duckman was way ahead of his time. If Duckman was on now, it would be successful. It wasn't ready for Duckman back then.
Duckman was funny as hell.
Duckman.
Hey, Quantum Leap was that shit.
What was the one with the chick? Oh, La Femme Nikita.
La Femme Nikita.
That's what it's like. They used to have wrestlers be like, once, you know what I mean? They'd be like, oh, here's Bret Hart on Lonesome Dove.
Hey, what was that? What was that Chuck Norris show?
I thought he was Walker, Texas Ranger or whatever.
Walker, Texas Ranger.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. I used to watch all that shit back in the day.
I tell you what
was the other one that Edge was on? Highlander?
Yeah, it was no, what was the he was like a regular character.
I was WWE stars just Lonesome Dove.
Yeah, Bret Hart was on Lonesome Dove. I thought he was gonna put a sharpshooter on somebody, and I was like, this is whack.
Who?
I will say I was tracing back the Attitude Era. I'm not gonna lie, because I know that I know a bunch of us share the same opinion on Bret the Hitman Hart, right? But if it wasn't for Bret and Vince, there would be no Attitude Era. Because right before the Attitude Era started, this is when Vince, people didn't really know he was like the owner of the company, and they thought he was just a commentator, and they kept that under wraps really well. But when him and Vince had his beef and it started getting physical, that like kicked off the whole era. And I don't think if we wouldn't have got that, we wouldn't have had the. And I don't really particularly care for Bret Hart, but like before that, when him and Vince had that where they were getting physical and Bret was like shoving them onto the ground, and then after Bret, I mean that ushered the Attitude Era in.
I agree.
Yeah. I give him that.
But also you got to throw in the fact that Stone Cold changed from the ringmaster to who he was and started doing more you know, promos that were more, you know, more edge. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that helped. But I agree with you. Once Bret Hart, I think once Bret Hart became a heel, I think that Bret Hart Stone Cold Steve Austin match turned it into the Attitude Era.
Yeah, then that segment with on Monday Night Raw with DX. Never mind, I ain't going there. Anyway.
You know what was? You know, hold on. You know what was else great that nobody talks about? When Triple H and Stone Cold would have like they beef, like it was on site. Anytime they even ran into each other on Raw, they was throwing hands. Nobody talks about that, man, but that shit was dope. It was on site. On site.
Hey, Thomas.
Yeah.
Hey, there was no talking, just hands.
No, they were just fighting. I always like when somebody finished their match and the next person coming out and they happen to like cross paths. Then they start throwing hands. That shit was dope. Or they had a stare down. That shit was dope, man. Yeah, man.
Yeah, it was.
It's not much talking. They just want to whoop each other's
Oh yeah, rest in peace. Rest in peace, General Adnan.
Oh, that's right.
Lost him.
They're gonna have a shot here.
I still believe, to me, man, that Sergeant Slaughter heel turn was like the best heel turn ever.
Damn, at the time, at the age we were, when he turned heel and he was on Iran's side, I thought that was real.
Yeah.
Nobody would do that. We was in the middle. We was in the middle of a real. We was in war. We was in combat.
Yo.
And this dude is on Superstars on Saturday at noon, talking about he got these boots from Saddam.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you when I really thought it was real. When they put the American flag draped over motherfucking Hulk Hogan after they whooped his ass, I said,
Yeah.
"Oh, wow!"
And if you watch now, I watched something recently where Sergeant Slaughter was speaking on that, and he said he was really getting death threats for real.
Yeah,
His wife was saying like people was threatening. Yo, they really
real getting heat.
Yo, I salute him for having the balls to do that. I mean, a lot of people wouldn't do that, man.
Right.
We're in a real war. They would eat him up now. They couldn't do that now.
We lived through a lot of corny gimmick matches back in the day, man. A lot of corny wrestling, a lot of doink. We had to get through the whole doink era. Big Buck, the fake
Doink
cop,
the clown.
Doink the clown. We growing up as a '90s fan, it's like you had to deal with some weird shit, man, back in the day with all these wrestling gimmicks and everything like that.
Can we talk about the Ho Train?
That was entertainment.
Cancel culture. You know they can't do that.
Fuck
do
that.
On TV
Nah,
now.
ain't no man canceling that.
You remember I showed you that video? I sent you that video when I was 15 years old.
Oh God!
And the Godfather had that match, and you saw me. I know I sent that to y'all. I did, because it was the Godfather versus Goldust, I think, for the Intercontinental Championship, and the Godfather came out with them hoes, and then you seen me, I was mad skinny, and then I reached my hand out.
Say something.
That was historical. I didn't catch a case that day either.
Yeah, the '90s were definitely a wild era, man. It's amazing as growing up as a wrestling fan, and you lived through all those moments. And like you grew up from the '90s, the Attitude Era, the Ruthless Aggression.
Right.
Today, and you look back on it now, and it's like, and it's cool when you can talk to kids about it, because kids, all they're seeing is what they're seeing now. If kids see what they saw back in the day, they be traumatized.
But and now it's different. Now is everything, people crave real life.
Yeah.
So now when wrestling fans, when there's a story, they know when somebody getting arrested. They know when somebody, having a problem or doing something, whatever. Now and then when they hear it on a wrestling show during the promo, that's the biggest thing. So if suppose this whole CM Punk thing was a work, and they planned it from day one, I'm just saying, people would eat that shit up. Say all of these confrontations was made up.
Tony Khan's not that smart to book that.
They're not. But I'm saying if they were, people would eat that shit up. Because people like that real life drama. Even when they know two wrestlers don't like each other in real life. Like
I've always said it best. Wrestling storylines are best when reality is blurred.
Right. So when it was known that Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels didn't get along, and then people heard that they was gonna be in the same ring, people tuned into that shit.
When it was known that Edge fucked Matt's bitch.
Right.
I watched the Rivals thing on the Peacock thing between Matt and Hardy and Edge. I need to check that out.
Shit was real to the
That
T.
shit was real. That was no storyline shit. That shit was real. Because even Edge said when they even had the match, they were really hitting each other hard as hell. Like they hit each other in real life. And it's like, I like that kind of storyline because they were really feeding off that shit in real life. So when Vince hired Matt Hardy back, Vince is like, hey, let's capitalize on this. Let's turn it.
But I mean, think about how difficult it will be if you a wrestler and then you got to go in and wrestle somebody that you don't like for real, and you got to trust them with your life. You know what I mean? Think about how hard that is. Like you know what I mean? You're putting on a scripted wrestling show with somebody that you cannot stand.
I can't get in the ring with someone I can't
That's
stand.
tough.
I will literally beat the shit out of you because don't have me in the ring. Yo, if I got beef with you, I don't want to fake shit. If I'm in the ring, I'm gonna fight you. I'm about to wrap this up, man. Literally, I'm gonna fight your ass. I'm not faking shit. You know, I can't do that shit. That's not me. I can't do that shit.
Right.
So, yeah, you can't do that, man. I don't want to hear no storyline shit. Don't put me in the same ring with this motherfucker because I'm gonna whip his ass. Don't do that.
He said, "Hey, you can't do that."
I'm like, you just don't understand. It's like, and I'm sitting there trying to explain it to you. I don't like this motherfucker. You got me in the same ring with this.
That's
dude.
tough, yeah.
Yeah, I can't do that. I'm just like, I understand I have a job. But you can't put me in the ring with him.
But
that was like in high school when you got paired up with the one person in class you couldn't stand the most on a group project.
Yeah, but if you on a wrestling show and it just so happens that two of you guys are the biggest stars of the company, you got to have a match. You can't avoid that.
Fuck him.
You know what I mean?
Of course, I gotta tell you to be careful and everything like that. But it's like
it's mad behind the scenes stuff that going like when Rikishi was giving them stink faces. They'll tell you. They said if he really likes you, he freshen up.
Bro,
that's wild.
Ain't no grown ass man sticking his ass in my face.
That's wild.
I don't give a shit if it's for entertainment. You're not sticking your ass cheeks in my face. No grown ass man, don't do that shit.
Hell no.
Yeah, hell no. I don't do that. No, it's not entertainment. It's not fucking funny. You're not doing
That's wild.
That's disgusting. You're not putting your ass cheeks in my face. Hell no. Hell no. I'm like, look, I will walk out of the company. You know what? Fuck this job. You know, like, you don't do this, you get fired. All right, well, fire me. You're not let this man put his ass in my face. Come on, dog. No. I'll be like, I gotta draw a line somewhere. Like, look, I'll do all this other shit you asked me to do. Nah, I gotta draw the line somewhere, man. It's some shit that's like, it's just really ridiculous at making you do, man. So it's sad. It's like that they come up with shit like that. But
it ain't sad. This shit was funny as hell.
It was funny as hell.
And a school alignment.
What else I got?
I don't know, man. That's it. I think we're gonna wrap it up here, man. I think we got in a good show tonight, man. We definitely got in a good show. So we're definitely gonna be more consistent with the show. We definitely, matter of fact, we'll probably come back in 2 weeks. I think we'll come back in 2 weeks for another show, man. I definitely want to stay consistent in regards to what's going on.
I ain't doing shit.
What's going on?
I ain't on shit.
Yeah, there's nothing really happening, but we'll talk everything in regards to storylines or whatever.
Hey, I'm sure some wrestling news, something will happen in the next 2 weeks.
If something does pop off within the week, though, like over the span of next Thursday, and something does come up, yeah, we will hop on here and do a show. We definitely will hop on and do a show just in case something does pop up. But I will say pencil us in at least the next 2 weeks for another show. But definitely, right now, what's the situation? Oh, what y'all think about the whole Jey Uso going over to Monday Night Raw?
I love it.
I like that move.
Huh? Uso?
Jimmy Uso going over to Monday Night Raw. They're setting up Jimmy versus Jay for WrestleMania. Ultimately,
Jay. I don't. I understand why they did it, but I just don't understand why they had to have Cody Rhodes involved with it. I don't get that.
Cody's going over to SmackDown.
Yeah, Cody going to SmackDown.
Because they're gonna keep Roman away from Cody. They're gonna keep Cody busy for the next couple of months until Mania. So
right.
Now, let me ask y'all a question. Early Rumble predictions. Do you say Cody wins the Rumble again? Does Gunther win the Rumble?
Gunther.
You think Gunther wins the Rumble?
He wins the Rumble. Cody wins the Chamber.
Okay, I can see that. Okay, does Cody finish the story?
Maybe.
Yo,
not right now.
If Reigns beats Rhodes again at WrestleMania, I'm like, all right, we'll just stop. We're not even continuing the storyline. Just Cody, just walk away.
Yeah.
Walk away. At that point, just walk away.
I don't know how they're gonna end that, but
yeah.
I don't think that I don't think Gunther should drop the IC title. If they want to give him one of the bigger belts, I think he should walk into the match as the IC champion like they used to do back in the day, like when a Warrior walked into WrestleMania with the IC belt.
That's what I said he should do. Walk into
Right,
WrestleMania.
took the belt. I don't think that he should lose the IC title. I think that he should vacate it after he wins one of the other belts. Like if he takes Seth.
I don't want to hear that vacate shit. It's just, what's the whole point of you winning the title? Then you just gonna vacate it out of nowhere.
Yeah, but how you gonna make him lose it without looking weak?
They're gonna book
Triple threat matches, fatal 4-way matches, ladder matches, like.
I think he should walk in and take the other belt and then say, okay, boom, I don't think he should lose the IC title.
I'm with that too. I'm with him to go on the Ultimate Warrior route. He wins the WWE title and have the Intercontinental title. I'm with that too.
Because that back in the day, if you got the Intercontinental title, you was in line to get a shot at the WWF title, even if you didn't win. Because I remember when Double J came out and Double J won the IC title, I personally saw Double J challenge Diesel at house shows. He didn't win, but damn it, he came close. That's how you should do it. That's how you build prestige on the other belts.
Hey, I'm gonna give you another one. Same thing with Warlord.
The War.
Same thing with Warlord.
Oh shit! Here we go.
Hey, real quick. You know what I was watching the other day, and I swear to God, it's on YouTube right now. I was watching Judge Mathis, right?
Oh,
and
God.
there was a chick on there trying to sue the Berserker. The Berserker was on the show, right?
Hey, remember when the Berserker almost stabbed Undertaker with his sword?
No, like
yes,
he tried to kill the Undertaker. He tried to kill the Undertaker. Tried to kill him. They put the sword right through the ring, right? It was dope. But the chick was, I don't know if this dude was banging the chick or whatever, but the chick was paying a lot of his bills, and she ended up he was in debt like $3,000, right? Why he give her instead of paying her back, he gave her 205 wrestling figures. And then I swear to God, it's on YouTube right now. And then told her that it was worth like $7,000, and she sold it to some dude for like $200. And Judge was like, you just got to give her $500 and then y'all straight. That shit was dope. The Berserker. Try to kill the Undertaker. Beat him with the trash can.
Yo, he tried to stab the Undertaker through the heart with his sword.
Undertaker sat up, and that sword went right through the ring. I never forget. They ended the show. They ended the show. The last shot of the show was the sword in the ring, and they was like, "We'll see you next week."
And you know it's funny. Every time I see Drew McIntyre come out with that sword, that's the only thing I think about.
That's the first thing you think about. That's funny because I remember. I never forget. My mom's used to watch wrestling back then, and she was a Piper fan, and then the Ultimate Warrior not the Ultimate Warrior. The Undertaker was like her favorite wrestler. But I remember I had something to do on Saturday, so I couldn't watch wrestling, and she watched it for me. And then when I got home, I never forget this. She told me she was like, the big boss man was wrestling, and then some guy came out and beat the shit out of him. She told me, she said he escaped from jail and beat the shit out of him. I never laughed, so I never forget that. She called me Tommy. She said, Tommy, he beat the shit out of him.
Hey, why did Nails? And you know what's funny? It was on a WWF Superstars episode. He came in there and beat the brakes. And hold on, remember the pictures they had of the big boss man after the ass whooping?
He was whooped. I'll never forget that. He fought Boss Man wrestled some jobber. And then after he gave him the Boss Man slam, your boy Nails came out the ring and they all knew
whooped his ass.
He was fresh out of jail. He just escaped and somehow got in the arena and beat the shit out of the big Boss Man.
I wish I could have been in some of the creative meetings and just get some of the shit they came up with. I know they just threw something against the wall just to be like,
y'all are wild.
What if we let's do this storyline and it just be fun. And I bet you they'd be in the back just be weak. Just seeing this shit play out, and I know they be sitting there like, "Yo, this shit is funny as hell."
So he beat the shit out of Ray Trailer.
Yo, the storylines that came, the Undertaker, the Paul White, the funeral thing was the funniest shit, man. Who was the dude?
Remember the other Undertaker?
Who was the dude they killed Pepper? Who was that? They made him eat the dog food.
And they
All right, Chris is out. All right, yo, we gonna wrap this out, man. We gonna wrap this up. Chris,
it's getting late.
Shout out, but we had another good show, man. Thank y'all, man. For everybody, hey, we didn't get 20 viewers, man. I looked at the thing. We got it to 4 at the most. So unfortunately, I couldn't give no money away, man. So hey, we're gonna do this.
Just give me the money.
He said, "Just give me the money."
We gonna keep.
We moved the needle. We moved the needle to 4.
I'm telling y'all think I'm joking. 20 viewers, I'm giving money away. Y'all want to tune in. I'm giving money away. I'm being dead ass serious. So
hey,
we're gonna keep doing this until we get 20 or more viewers. So
the amazing thing is that you have 4 viewers and not one of them was me.
Now that's funny. That's funny. Thomas actually came on the show. So
usually my comments be lit.
They do.
I like being in the front row. Yeah.
But hey, so that means Justin explained this stuff already. But Justin, you're next, fam. Justin's been on one show since I've been doing this. Justin, you got to come on another show. We definitely got to come on another.
We got to get the whole group chat on one show.
We got to get the whole group chat on one show. We're gonna make it. We got to get everybody on the same schedule. Trust me, we're gonna make this happen. So we definitely.
He jumped.
So, anyways, y'all got anything shout outs before we wrap this up, man?
I got none.
Thomas, any shout outs, man? We thank you for coming on, man. We definitely thank you for coming on, Thomas, man. Thank you for making a rare appearance on the show, man. We do thank
shout out. Shout out Trey.
Oh gosh.
Trey had a night.
Shout out Trey Sykes.
We gotta get Trey back on the show, man. We definitely gotta get Trey back on. Trey,
he got a knife.
Yeah, Trey. That'd be one of the funniest shows. Thomas, I don't know if you watched that whole show, but you gotta go back and watch that entire show.
No, I gotta see that one.
That show was funny as hell, man. Hey, but thank y'all for another show. 2 weeks we'll be back, man. Definitely. But if anything breaks or anything that we need to discuss within those 2 weeks comes up, hey, I'm firing it back up the laptop and everything. We're gonna get back on the show or whatever. But 2 weeks we'll definitely discuss everything that's coming up in WWE. Hopefully some more storylines are progressing. I do know NXT next week. Tiffany Stratton is defending the NXT championship, Women's Championship against Becky Lynch. So she'll be back down to NXT. There's also a number 1 contenders match for the NXT title next week between Ilya Dragunov and Wes Lee. The winner will face Carmelo Hayes at NXT No Mercy at September 30th. So NXT's rocking. WWE, I believe their next pay-per-view is
Fastlane.
Thank you. The next pay-per-view is Fastlane, so I know they're gonna start building that up. AEW, they got a show with something. I think I forgot the name of it. Hold on. It's called. Let's see.
Battle of the Virgins.
Wrestling is October the 1st, so that's their next pay-per-view. So we got a little bit of breaking action, everything. New Japan. I don't know what's going. I think the G1 climax is over. I know I've been watching some of the they've been watching them on TV. They've been going back to show them. I don't know what the latest status is. I apologize. I've been keeping up with it, but I don't know if it's over or not. I gotta go back and see what I can find. But I know that tournament was going on last month, so. But we got a lot of going on. We're coming into the end of the year, man. The big pay-per-views, the Survivor. I know the big one. We got a Saudi show in October. We got Fastlane, and of course we got the big one, Survivor Series coming up in November. Is it still? Are they still doing War Games? Is that still the
No clue. All I know is it's in Chicago.
It's in Chicago, and word is, last time I heard, War Games will be a part of it. I don't know who's going to be in the War Games match, but I'm sure if there is a War Games, they'll announce the competitors or whatever and everything like that. So we'll keep y'all updated. Make sure y'all still follow us on Facebook. Make sure y'all follow us on Instagram, where I keep everything updated with the latest and greatest. Thomas, if you don't know what the hell's going on, you know I keep shit updated on the Wrasslin Talk Radio page. All you got to do is go on the page. If you miss anything, I keep everything updated on the page. So make sure Twitter's acting real dumb as of late. I'm only able to post so many things on Twitter. So if you don't see something on Twitter, just go check it out on Facebook or go look it out on Instagram, where I keep everything updated. Make sure y'all subscribe to the YouTube channel, man. Definitely get some more followers in here, man. Tell a friend. Subscribe to this YouTube channel and hit that subscribe button so when we go live. Anyways, we're out of here, man. Y'all enjoy y'all rest. Hey, enjoy football. We got football on now. Good game going on between the Chiefs and the Lions. Bears will whoop y'all ass on Sunday.
Y'all ain't doing shit. Y'all about to get 40 piece.
The Jordan Love era.
40 piece.
The Jordan Love era starts.
Y'all are getting fucked up. Y'all are getting your ass beat on Sunday.
Field to fuck y'all up.
Y'all ain't gonna do shit. Y'all gonna get 40 piece. Y'all get who?
A-Rod is going. Hey, Thomas, he's with y'all now. He's y'all problem. Deal with him and everything. We'll see him on Monday Night Football against the Buffalo Bills.
Man, both of them are fucking bums.
Aaron Rodgers is 9-0. He's 9-0 on Monday Night Football.
He's a bum too. Fuck him.
We're gonna beat the shit out of the Bills.
Congratulations. Fuck y'all too.
We'll see.
Hey, don't get 40 piece on Sunday, Keys, because I'm on your ass.
Hey, don't say nothing when Jordan Love come down there and start throwing dimes, man.
The only thing he's throwing to is a pick to the ops.
I can't come at my boy Justin Fields, man, because he went to Ohio State.
Because you know better not to.
Yeah, because that's what Ohio State. I might want to talk about Saturday's game. I just. Yeah, we won, but it just did not look good. A good win.
Neither did Notre Dame last year.
And still, yeah, I'm hoping that we can. I know this ain't CJ Stroud, but man, come on, fam.
They'll be fine.
Well, I was like, hopefully we'll be fine, everything. So we'll see how things work out. But all right, man, we signing off from here, man. Hey, as we always say here at Wrasslin Talk Radio, we're not just wrestling fans, we're wrestling fans. Y'all have a good night. Rest in peace, Mom Deuce. Rest in peace, Ness. I'll see y'all again. Y'all have a good night, man. One.
All right.